Sam Brooks does not need to replace Shaq Quarterman. Brett Varner, stop it. Absolutely not.
A couple of people have said that after Brooks with 5 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss.
No, and maybe, okay, if you mean it as in replace him when he leaves, then okay, cool, fine. Like, he will replace him next year as interior inside linebacker at that position. Sure. But right now, no. So maybe you're correct. Maybe I overreacted.
That's how I took it as well. And that's what I was going to get to right away, because that's how I took that comment as well. The initial reaction you had. Like,
no, absolutely not. No, Shaq Quarterman, he's the Daniel Gould, friend of mine, who contributes and does statistical analysis and things like that to a number of places. But he put up his stats today, and he said, or in there, I think Shaq Quarterman he's like top 4 of defensive snaps so far this year. No. Sam Brooks is going to be good down the line in the future as a developmental kind of a thing. Right now, today, in 2019, Shaq Quarterman, man, come on, bro. Come on. He's one of the captains of this team. He's a 4-year starter. He's, probably going to be first team All-ACC, maybe second team All-American, and everything like that. No. Like, no, miss me with that. So, there's that. The real thing for me from this game is the fact that Bubba Baxa missed another short field goal. And he's 4 for 8 on the year, 1 for 4 inside of 40 yards. Or inside of 30, I want to say. And I know that the angle is steep when you're on the hash mark, the closer that you go. But this is a problem. And I don't know how to fix it. And Manny Diaz was asked directly, does Bubba Baxa see a sports psychologist? He said yes. He was asked directly, what can you tell us? It was at one of the media availability sessions. I forget who asked it, but somebody said, what can you tell us today, right now, here? Technically, what is Bubba not doing that needs to improve? And Manny Diaz deflected that like a good coach should and said, some of those technical things we're going to leave behind closed doors in our building as we work on those. But whatever it is, it needs to get fixed. And one of our writers today actually put up a good piece. I didn't know that he was writing it because, again, I don't necessarily have to approve everything on State of the U, but he wondered if maybe Miami should look to a different kicker for shorter kicks and let Bubba Baxa take, the 35 and outs, which he's actually pretty good at. I mean, he hit 50 against North Carolina. You know what I mean? And there is another kicker there's multiple other kickers, but the preferred walk-on, the number 1 of the other kickers is Camden Price from Maryland, I want to say. So he's a talented guy. He came into the Bethune-Cookman game, Camden Price did, and he kicked 2 extra points. So maybe, there is another option in there, and I don't want to run Bubba Baxa off of the job, but if you're not doing the job, then, we need to evaluate somebody else to do the job. So I don't know. And other teams have done that before. Alabama did it before with a kicker for short field goals and then longer kicks. Alabama has also missed the most kicks in the 2000s of any team. So I saw somebody, or that stat came up this weekend. Someone was like, "Hey, we're playing like Alabama now." Okay, yeah, maybe, but it is a thing that maybe we can evaluate. So the kicking game is really a thing that needs to get shored up because, there are 3 phases to the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And when you have decent returning, you have, improved punting. The first punt of last game was 51 yards, and for a team where we were, in the mid-low 30s last year in punting, that's a huge difference. So that's improvement. But, and people last year are even citing Bubba Baxa's freshman season, talking about, he hit 9 out of 12. Yeah, but you remember when we stopped kicking field goals because we didn't think he could hit them? You know what I mean? I think that number would have been worse than that had we endeavored to have him try some more field goals. But instead of that, we were like, okay, we're going to go for it on this 4th down. We're going to play this opening possession as 4-down territory. So we're going to try to get half the yardage on 3rd and have a 4th and manageable because we're not necessarily sure about the kicking game. So, yeah, he did hit 9 out of 12 as a freshman, but you need to take that context into consideration as well. So that is a little bit of a diatribe, but yeah, there were some things to glean from it. Getting guys game experience. Robert Burns had some nice runs. Robert Knowles, who's been much maligned and I have derided for his previous poor play, played pretty well and got his first turnover chain because he's the guy who recovered the fumble at near the end of the first half when Gervin Hall, to call out another name, he sat there and he looked at it and tried to kind of reach. And I was like, and I typed it during the play. I said, Gervin, get on the ground. Dive, celebrate the game. You need to go. The ball is literally, it's just bouncing around and you're looking at it. Get on the ground, bro. I know that everybody wants to scoop and score, but with all the bodies around in that scenario, a scoop and a score wasn't going to happen. But you know what could have happened? You could have had the turnover chain number 26 if you would have dove for that ball. And eventually, after it kicked around, Robert Knowles did that, and he got that. So that was good as well. So, obviously in a game like Bethune-Cookman, you're going to have way more positives than negatives. Another negative, and I know that we're going to transition into something else because I'm almost rambling here, but I still have good content for you, is the third down conversion percentage for Miami. Miami went on third down, they went 4 for 9, but they went 1 for their first 6 and then converted the last 3. So, the percentage did improve of third down conversion, but when it takes until the fourth quarter and against the second team of Bethune-Cookman's defense to go 3 for 3 to take that from 1 for 6 to 4 for 9, that's still not good enough. So the third down turnover or conversion rate needs to improve as well. But like I said, more positives than negatives. And the team, and the last thing. I used to do this when I was a teacher. I used to say last time, and then something else would pop into my head, or the performance wouldn't be there. But this is the really honest and true last thing. The team did escape the game almost injury-free. There were 2 incidents, however. Heading into the game, Lorenzo Lingard, 3. Heading into the game, Lorenzo Lingard got dinged up in practice. It was rumored by some people to be a concussion type thing, but he was held out of the game. He wasn't even at the stadium, Lorenzo Lingard, for this game, but he's fully cleared as of today. So said Manny Diaz for this weekend moving forward. So hopefully we see number 1 getting some carries eventually. That's one thing.